Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 23. Welcome to Little Christmas Eve. This is a day of much tradition for us, and this year I am even gonna add to it. Back in 2015, we lost Peter's dad on this very day. And it was, of course, it was heartbreaking. He was the kind of man that everyone who met him loved him. He would approach life in this calm, stoic, very matter-of-factly way. To me, he was much more than a father-in-law. He was more like a father, and he was certainly a very, very good friend. And every year on this day, we meet at his grave, all of the family, in the early afternoon. We meet, we sing to him, we put flowers, and then we go to my mother-in-law for just a quick snack, just glögg and äppelskiva, obviously, since it's December. We keep it short and sweet because everyone needs to get back and start preparing the big dinner for tomorrow. But it is a tradition that I value, that we all value. I remember when he died, Peter's sister was like, how could he die on Little Christmas Eve? Christmas is ruined forever. But of course it turned out that Christmas was not ruined, and that it was actually a good thing that he died on Little Christmas Eve, because honoring him on that day just became an integral part of our traditions, and definitely a part that we all enjoy very much. And yeah, this year, as I said, I'm gonna add to the tradition. I'm gonna use the morning doing something that I have been putting off, but I have known all the time that I wanted it done before Christmas. When my mom died on October 7, she had left a letter for me and my brother. It was a short letter, and it was quite straightforward. It was not a sentimental letter. It was a practical letter telling us what she wanted to happen after her death. And we both knew that if we wanted something else, that would be perfectly okay. It was not a demand. It was, well, here's a suggestion. And you know what? That letter, that brought us so much comfort. It was really nice to be able to just be in the grief and the sadness, not having to think about, oh, but where do we put her, and what about the ceremony, and does she want to go to a church, or does she told us, she gave us the entire manuscript, and we could just relax into it. And that was such a loving thing to do for us, to make sure that we didn't have to worry about all of that. So I'm going to do the same thing for my children. The things that my mom wrote was that she wanted to be cremated, not buried, that she wanted the local church, and that was also where she wanted to her ashes to be put down. She didn't want a grave, an elaborate grave. She just wanted a stone put in the lawn. She told us what songs she wanted for the service at church, and yeah, It was really nice. And I want to do the same thing for my boys. And I want to make sure that they understand that what I am writing are suggestions. It is something that they can do if it makes sense to them. But of course, they're not bound by it. Another thing that I want to do this morning is actually start packing some of the knitting that I'm bringing to Texas when we travel for New Year's. And I know that New Year's seems such a long time away, but you know what? It's really not. We have all of these things that needs to happen in the days of Christmas and the days of Twixmas. So really, I'm just going to start packing it today. I am going to bring all the 3 options that I had for my Christmas Day cast on. Because as I said, they all need to happen. We're going to be there for almost a full month. There's still 3 sweaters. It's a lot. I'm not going to finish those. But I want to have options when I'm over there. And I don't want to think too much about it. So I'm just packing everything. Knitting is not heavy. It's perfectly fine. So I am gonna go wind the yarn and put everything into project bags. I'm gonna take one of my needle cases. I have 2 needle cases and one of them I always travel with. So I'm just gonna bring that. I don't have to look into what specific needles for each project. But I'm just gonna wind the yarn, put it into project bags and put everything into a big tote bag so that knowing me, come December 31st, I can just grab that bag and throw it in my suitcase. So that is gonna be something really fun to do today. I also want to show you that I made some progress on my blanket. It is what I have been working on since I finished my lovely Hexie blanket. I am sitting here with 2 years worth of Advent blankets, and it just feels really, it feels so luxurious to sit here with those. It's early in the morning, and that was just a word that I was missing. But this is where I'm at now. I am almost ready to put in stripy section number 4, which is going to be this brown color. So that's definitely going to happen today. I am going to bring this around with me. Fortunately, it's not bigger than it can still go into my purse. I carry a very large purse. It can still go into my purse and I can bring it around with me, which is absolutely perfect because still not feeling very socky and I don't have anything else on my needles. I am up in my studio getting ready to wind the yarn and pack the projects that I will be bringing to Texas when we leave on New Year's Eve. I thought I'd just show you knitwear of the day. I am wearing my chicken knit, one of the very first versions that I made. It is made out of all sorts of scraps and leftovers, mainly yarns that I dyed myself. I love this one. I love that it is short sleeved. I am gonna wear a light jacket over it, but I don't think I'm gonna be needing the jacket. Typically it's really warm when lots of people get together and there's candles everywhere and the stovetop going and whatnot. So I chose this for today so that I wouldn't overheat. But I am wearing one other thing, and I don't know that I'll be able to show you, but I am wearing my socks. Let me just bring the camera down. Let's see. We should be able to do this. I am wearing the socks, the long socks that I started last year for Christmas and finished this year. And they work perfectly with a skirt like this. I love them. They are everything that I wanted them to be. And I know that they're barely in the frame, but they kind of are, right? I'm probably going to end up packing 4 projects, which is way too much for a month. But, you know, options. Plus, knitwear doesn't, it's not heavy. It's going to be okay. I am going to pack the Nora yarn that Ina gave me for my birthday, and I'm going to pack some kit silk with it. I think this is probably, yeah, this is some drops kit silk. I'm going to pack that also, just in case I decide to go for some huge chunky thing. I don't know yet. But I'm going to pack it in this beautiful project bag from Tina Mai. She sells her bags on Instagram, and they're all these old fabrics, old needle points that she repurposes and makes beautiful project bags out of. Then I am gonna bring the yarns for my Astrid sweater. They're all kind of different yarns, but I'm sure they're gonna go together beautifully. All I need to do with this one is wind the Quince & Co. The rest is already balled up. I am gonna put that in the project bag from my friend Bidden. I love this one. Bidden does not sell her bags. You have to be really lucky and get one in a giveaway. There's one coming. Just a little teaser. Finally, I am gonna wind the yarn for my Stromboli. My Stromboli. I decided to go for the gray yarn, the sock yarn that I dyed myself ages ago. I'm going to wind that. I'm going to put it in the teeny tiny little bag from the McKinney Knittery. This bag actually holds a lot, but it doesn't take up much space. So I thought that would be perfect for a project like that. I will also be winding some yarn for Peter's sweater, the sweater that I am giving him for Christmas. It only has one sleeve. Now I'm going to have him try the sweater. And if the sleeve is perfect, I will be knitting the other sleeve on Boxing Day. Well, and maybe some of the other days of Twixmas. I am holding out on winding it because I think it does come through on the camera. In person, it is very obvious that the 2 skeins of silk mohair are quite different in color. So I want to check with the mohair that is already wound, that is already packed up for him. And then I'll choose which one to wind. But I can go ahead and wind the mink yarn, of course. The 4th project that I am bringing, because Peter's sweater for sure, I'll finish that before we leave. But I am also going to be bringing what is in this bag. It is an older whip that I had honestly forgotten all about, which is ridiculous because it is something that I am really excited to finish so that I can get to wear it. It is a Shennis rug, and this one is actually knit in a very dark blue, and it does read kind of gray or blackish here, but it is blue, and I am striping in some greens and some gray and some deep burgundy red. So I am also going to bring that. There's not a lot of knitting left on it, so I should be able to finish it kind of quickly and start wearing it over in Texas. So I'm going to have a winding party, and I will see you later.
Christmas to only dreams this Christmas. I've made my wish upon that star. The only dream of which my list consisted.